So Shakur Super Saiyan Stevenson reached out to Jake Paul. He want to spar him to prepare him for the Gervonta exhibition that's still going to go on their records. Here is exactly what Jake Paul had to say, revealing who he's going to be sparring to prepare for Tank. Check it out.
Yeah, in terms of sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're going to hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
Wait a minute. Jake must not know. If he spars Lubin, he can forget about Tank. Unlike Tank, who's a lightweight, Lubin is a 154-pounder. He's big enough and sharp enough to stop Jake Paul anytime he wants to in sparring. Not saying that's what Lubin is going to do. I'm not saying that Lubin is going to go in there to Edgar Berlanga him. I'm pretty sure Jake Paul team is going to make sure Lubin is not going to do Jake Paul the same way he did Edgar Berlanga. But it's impressive to hear who Jake Paul is going to be sparring to prepare him for Gervonta. Lubin, and then of course Shakur. You also have Montana Love. All Jake Paul is missing is Frank Martin. Because even though Shakur is a great fighter and way greater than a Frank Martin or even Montana Love, right? But Shakur has a different style. I think Frank Martin is able to mimic Gervonta better than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur uses his lead hand to control and deflect, use it more defensively. On the other hand, Gervonta is more offensive with it, but not necessarily defensively sound with it as much as Shakur. Shakur doesn't just control distance with his lead hand and use it for defense. Actually, majority of Shakur offense comes with setting up his offense with his lead hand. That's not Gervonta. Gervonta, his style is different. Either way, it was interesting to hear Jake Paul reveal that it was Shakur who actually reached out to him, wanting to spar him to prepare him for Gervonta. It wasn't Jake Paul reaching out to Shakur. It was Shakur reaching out to Jake Paul. Similarly to Boots reaching out to Canelo to prepare him to fight Crawford. Well, I can tell you this. In terms of IQ, Jake got the right one. Shakur is going to teach Jake Paul so much. He might mess around and become his new coach. Man, if he can do 20% of the things Shakur is going to be teaching him, and if he watches out for 20% of what Shakur teaches him, he's going to be all right. But I don't think that's the case. You see, the main difference between Jake Paul and Gervonta that people don't talk about, of course, outside of the weight, is the fact that Jake Paul doesn't have the talent. I don't care how hard Jake Paul trains, he's never going to be a world champion. He doesn't have the talent. You can't teach rhythm. You can't teach speed. You can't teach coordination. I mean, you can help with it to maximize Jake Paul's potential. Without a doubt, he can reach his full potential through hard work, dedication, and discipline by learning the sweet science, by learning the skill, and learning all the techniques. But the point I'm trying to make, if a horse races a donkey, I don't care how hard the donkey trains, the horse will always smoke some. A better analogy, you can give a bird steroids. Can that little bitty bird fly as high as an eagle does? Can that little bitty bird fly in the same altitude as an eagle? Of course not. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Jake Paul's skill level is the weight of a fly compared to like a Gervonta, whose skill level is compared to an eagle next to Jake. We all know there's levels to boxing, just like there's levels to the altitudes of a fly and an eagle. We shall see if the weight between a lightweight and a heavyweight is going to make a difference. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments section below. One thing though, Tank be making himself sound terrified the way he responds to every Shakur question during the Jake Paul press conference, he really made himself look bad. I was at my gym and we was watching the press conference. Someone didn't even know Shakur. And when they heard the way Gervonta responded to the question, they were like, damn, why Tank scared like that from this guy Shakur? That's exactly how Tank be making himself sound. Terrified. I want you guys to watch this clip at the end of this video of when Tank heard Shakur name is as if he heard the word he finna lose or something. Because his reaction didn't make sense to the fans wanting him to fight the best. Like, it wasn't a weird question for him to just start talking randomly, and then he made himself look worse because he said, yeah, how Shakur looked his last fight. And I'm thinking like, great? What are you talking about? The only one that looked bad his last fight was Tank. That's why people want to see the rematch with Lamont Roach. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Oliver Salt for Daily Mail. Gervonta, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Roach rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future though?
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? What happened? He won, right? But how he look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. Y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so much, y'all start hating on it. Like it turned from love to hate.
Next question. Now it's not an issue. Top Rank doesn't have an exclusive deal with ESPN anymore. Okay.
And I'm not with Top Rank.
Right. No. I'm saying back
I'm a free
when.
agent.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean back when.
Okay. I got another thing. Since we here.
I love this, Shakur Stevenson.
Since we here.
You don't even want. This isn't your next profession, by the way.
You work with him, right? So since y'all work
who?
together, Tank, yes.
Yeah.
Since y'all work together, am I in the plans? Because I want the fight.
I'll tell you this. Tank has definitely said repeatedly, I want to fight Shakur.
So
I want to fight Shakur.
If that's the case, if I'm a free agent now, I'm doing whatever I want, I'm going here fighting these guys, am I in the plans? Like, is this 6-fight deal something that's real, or was that like?
No, he's definitely got a plan. And like, there's a lot of fighters which are sort of in group. You sort of say, okay, here's the list of fighters that I'm planning on fighting. It might be 6 fighters, it might be 4, it might be 8. But when you lay out a plan like that, a deal like that, it's sort of like, okay, sometimes it's like 8 fighters, even though it's